Okay. So thank you everybody for joining us, and especially to Brian Peterson. He's the general manager here from Units of Indianapolis. And recently, Brian was discussing with the Units franchise network on one of our recent best practices calls about their Testimonial Tuesday videos. And we wanted to kind of have this, kind of interview to lay out some of the steps, kind of what are the things that he looked for and how they put everything together and saw success with this. Recently, too, I know that y'all were talking about going on to TikTok platform and all of that. We might just kind of close out with this, or close out with that. But I wanted to focus and ask some questions of Brian here today. And again, as always, we've got Lydia. So Brian, I wanted to kick things off by asking you, tell us a little bit about the idea for the weekly customer testimonials, kind of how it came about, and kind of was there a specific, conversation that you and Mike or anybody else kind of had to lead you to want to start this initiative?
The goal was always to try to figure out how to get more engagement on our socials. And really, the genesis of the Tuesday testimonial was Mike was with one of our clients who's a an organizer, downsizer, and interior decorator company. And he was, networking with them and went over to one of the clients that we have with them and just decided to do a quick film with them. And he said, "Look, I'm going to start putting these out to try to generate um, some content." Um, One of the focuses that we have is on growing our commercial, our B2C, um, and or B2B, I should say, and growing that. And so we're spending so much time calling, meeting, and networking with other, commercial clients. And so we figured this would be a good way to start that.
Um, so obviously the videos that y'all are doing are primarily the B2B customer testimonials, right? Um, how are you, and this is kind of going into the process a little bit, but how far ahead are you booking or contacting that customer, your primary contact, to say, hey, we would love to just come out and do a quick video with you, but kind of can you give me some specifics about kind of the process about how you ask for the video and how you set it up?
Sure, sure. So a lot of it is organic, and as we're just getting a call from a client, hey, I need a container, or I've got a project coming up. If I'm seeing, hey man, I'm going to be on your side of town, we'd love to do it. But um, to some degree, we're plotting these out in reality right now. Just so you know, we've got one in the can, one videoed already, and tomorrow I'm filming two more. And we already have the one for tomorrow set up to go. So we're trying to get ahead of this and call ahead. Um, the Our clients love it, and now that they're kind of seeing it on their own, when we ask them about it, they're kind of excited and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'd love to be a part of this. I'd love to share it with my team and get the word out to the others in our organization to kind of see what we're doing."
Gotcha. So are you pairing this with deliver empties to a B2B client specifically?
Yeah. Sometimes I'll pair it with a deliver empty, but for instance, a couple weeks ago we had a deliver empty for a garage floor company who does the epoxying on the garage floor. I didn't want to do it the day of the deliver empty. We wanted to wait until like 3 or 4 days later when the place was empty. The our partner was on property. Oh, our dog is going on, if you can hear that.
It's all good.
Um, our partner was on property with their truck, their workers, and that way we could film everybody together and show their product, and their service getting completed. So I did call the owner of the company and say, "Hey, man, I know we're going to be there on this day. Will you be available? When do you want me to come out? Let's do it." And they're super excited to be a part of it.
Gotcha. So you're building kind of excitement with the owner saying, hey, we're doing these testimonial videos, but there is some planning, but it seems very easy with the business owner or the primary contact of saying, hey, you know, will be picking up the container or will be delivering the container, is it okay for you to be there? And so are you riding with your delivery specialist, or are you handling the pickup and drop off, or, on those days when
No,
you're doing the shooting?
it's separate from the truck. I'm not driving, making deliveries or pickups very regularly, and I can schedule this more um, with our client when I'm going to be out, and we can meet on our terms, not on a delivery empty time.
Gotcha. Um, Going into even more specifics, this can be a little overwhelming for some people not understanding what it takes to kind of shoot a video like this. But are you just doing it kind of in selfie mode, recording it on your cell phone, on your smartphone? Do you have a microphone or Bluetooth, anything connected like that?
Yeah. It's very, very organic. I take my phone, I just stand up and say, okay, guys, we're just going to do this. And um, hold it in selfie mode, record. Once I had to do it in two takes because somebody got flummoxed. But I want them to feel relaxed. We do one take, I tell them 40 to 60 seconds is really all it's going to be. And it's about them having the opportunity to feel comfortable saying what they want to about their service, their product, and how they use units.
Got it. And that makes it, depending on who you're talking to, it can probably seem a little intimidating for maybe a business owner that's not on camera a whole lot. So do you just kind of say, tell us about your experience, tell us how you use the containers? Because I'm guessing that relates more to their world. They're a little more comfortable talking about that, right?
Yeah. And I'm not somebody who's, like a TV personality, so they shouldn't be uncomfortable. They talk to me on the phone on daily, some of these people daily, some of them weekly, and we have a decent enough relationship because of all the time that I put into the networking with them, so that when we do get in person, it's pretty simple, and there's not a lot of stress to it.
Gotcha. Well, that's good because I know even working with some of our team members and other owners, it can get a little, kind of, flustering if it's not that natural. But it sounds like you've taken a natural approach when you're doing kind of the actual recording, which honestly, from what I've heard, a couple of owners said, hey, I don't know how to do this, but it's just simple phone, turn it around in selfie mode and have them kind of have a conversation with you while looking at the screen together. Pretty much. Is
Yeah,
that good summary?
that that's it. You know, um I've taken many years ago, I did video work for weddings and parties and things, so I did a lot of video editing. And so I've taken that and, got a very basic video program on my phone called Video Now, where I can drop in not only the quick video that I make of our speaking, but maybe a little bit about the robo in action at their place or their team working on the concrete or whatever. Drop in a couple of still pictures just to give it a little bit of extra life. But we don't want to overproduce it.
Right. Y'all want it to have the local look, touch, and feel of that, but you're saying you could go to another level with it. It kind of is what I'm picking up here.
Yeah, we probably could, but that's, the goal is do something that's quick, do something that's feeling kind of spontaneous and just put it out there every Tuesday without a lot of extras to it.
Well, with that going on, I that kind of a leading question here, but I mean, what have been some of the hiccups or kind of the problems you've encountered with getting all of this set up? Because, weekly, I mean, that's 52 testimonials a year that you're kind of committing to right now. But I mean, are there any other challenges or anything that you've experienced so far with doing this?
Um, now that we've been doing it for a few months and getting into that battle rhythm and I'm able to get ahead. I feel comfortable now that I've got two or three more done already. Um, I think the biggest thing was getting started. And then once I did, it's like, okay, I'm flowing. Mike, he's been out there to take some videos. And he's, done some on his own. And he was the one who kind of created this idea and wanted to go with it. And so th there hasn't been a ton of problem. I do a lot of networking. I do a lot of outreach and a lot of customer relationship management. It's not just new building, but it's following up with our people who we've been working with in the past. So it's just become part of that weekly sales call to all of my current clients.
Gotcha. Well, do you introduce this like kind of early on in the relationship as a potential? I mean, how do you kind of get them a little bit more excited? I mean, what is honestly kind of, a cold pitch of saying, "Hey, we're going to do this testimonial video," when you're talking to a business owner that you've already been a cut or has already been a customer of yours?
Well, we have a client who's a flooring company, inside interior flooring, and they've used us 2 or 3 times over the past year and a half. And she just called me again the other day. We haven't spoken in a while, but I said, "Hey, I think you would love this. We're doing our Tuesday testimonials, we're putting it out in the socials, and people are starting to engage with it a lot more. Would you like to be a part of it?" And she's 20, 25 years younger than me, so she's right there in the video taking age. And so she loved it and couldn't wait. So we're delivering to her today, actually. Tomorrow, I'll go up and meet her at the location at the customer's home and make sure we get some good footage.
Awesome. So obviously, I mean, that's a great person to kind of have that's engaging with this, that's, on top of it, understands the importance of it. Um, do you think that you've had clients already where they're like, "Well, I don't know how to do this," like in, somebody that's maybe a little hesitant to get on camera, not that they're hesitant about, talking about your services and their positive experience, but have you had owners that have been hesitant about doing it yet? Business owners, clients?
Uh, one uh, large scale home builder. We got in with somebody at corporate, but now all of their neighborhoods around the city are using our containers for their properties, and I haven't been able to find somebody in their company who will go out and do a video with me. None of the project managers at the individual properties are comfortable with it. That's the only one who has really given me any pushback. All the others, like, yeah, man, well, let's do it. Let's figure out the right time. Um, and they recognize that I don't want this to be just about units. I want this to show our partnership. I want this to show what units is doing for them, but also what they do and how people can find them, just to build that overall awareness of their company as well.
Gotcha. I mean, that sounds like it's extremely important to say, "Hey, we're not just asking you to talk about units of Indy. We want to highlight your business, give you a bump here too, to help increase your brand kind of exposure also."
Yeah, the reason I would, always like to do it at their property or in front of their truck is so that that's them, that's the background. And I filmed their team doing the work or whatever. Um, I'm super excited about tomorrow's one of them that I'm doing tomorrow is with Habitat for Humanity. And we've got two containers next door to each other at two builds that are happening. And the project manager there is actually leading a group of women I think it's called the Women Build or Girls Build. I can't remember exactly, but I'm going to find out all the details tomorrow. But she is so excited to share all the information about what they do and the fundraising that they have to do, and then the women that are actually building that house. So it's just going to be great, and we're going to be able to follow up with that one weeks and months down the road as the place gets built.
And that's one where you could potentially be doing new home builds down the road, do another testimonial video, kind of is what you're saying, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
no
Um,
doubt.
Well, kind of, rounding it out here. So again, we kind of discussed like it's not that difficult once you kind of found your cadence and your flow for this. But what's kind of the one piece of advice an owner's like, "I really like this idea, but like, how do I get started?" What's the simplest thing, couple steps that they can take now to kind of get moving on an initiative like this for their franchise?
Pick one or two of your clients that you're comfortable having conversations with, that you would be able to have that easygoing conversation on film. If you're not used to videoing yourself, or standing up and talking in public, I would pick somebody who's easy to work with and go out and do a sample. But you got to just do it at some point and work through whatever stress or nerves you might have. Um, uh, you know, on social media, I'll be quite honest, my whole life, I always thought there's two kinds of people. There's people who are voyeurs who want to watch things, and there's people who want to put everything out there about themselves. That's not me. I've been forcing myself over the past year to be a lot more outgoing on socials and putting myself out there more than I really ever cared to. So I just had to do it and work through any stresses about it.
Um, and that's good to hear that it was kind of a breaking your comfort level, but it's become so easy now that you kind of have maybe a preconceived notion to start out with, and now you're like, this is not nearly as bad or as uncomfortable as I thought it'd be.
Yeah, yeah, and again, finding those people who you're comfortable with to help to do those first few, and as I've seen the engagement that people have been having, it's made me want to do it more. Our views and our engagement on LinkedIn have increased a ton. Um, I had um, I went into a trade show a couple weeks ago and I saw um, a, a restoration company who we've been really close to closing deals with, but never have pushed across the goal line there. But the guy who I've been working with, he said, "Man, I saw you doing your Tuesday testimonial, and our owner, who's wanting to clean out his garage to do a garage floor project, didn't know what to do. And I saw your Tuesday testimonial, so I told him about you guys, and there you go." Um, I had another lady call me just the other day who's a an organizer, downsizer, and she saw us on the Tuesday testimonials. She called me directly and said, "Hey, I see what you're doing. You guys are out there killing it, and on socials, and I'd love to engage with you a little bit more. Let's get together and talk about how we can work." So there's not only the fun of putting out a little bit about um, ourselves, but there's actual business that's coming from it.
And I was going to kind of ask that too, but I mean, you already touched on it, but would you say that since you've started doing these videos, these have been because you pretty much post these organically, which means, you're not putting them in advertisements where it says sponsored next to it. So you're just organically posting them after it's finished and in the can. But would you say this is easily like the highest engagement you've gotten from any social media post, whether it's from a marketing vendor or from anything you've done in the past, or these consistently the most liked, most shared, kind of most viewed pieces of content?
I guess so. I'm gonna be honest with you
I,
guys.
I know
I
it is. I see the metrics. I
okay.
can tell you, yeah, they're doing pretty well comparatively speaking.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I don't look at those numbers as much as I probably should. But just from what people are telling me and I'm seeing out when I'm out networking, people are mentioning this stuff to me. I was at a chamber event and a couple people said, "Hey, you're the Tuesday testimonial guy." It's like, holy cow. So
I
who
mean, that's
knows?
that's great work. So, I mean, you just kind of said who knows, but do you have any ideas for next steps or kind of taking anything to the next level, how to feature more of these videos, or do you have anything or what are you looking to do next, potentially either with this initiative or anything else?
So this initiative is spurred off another idea, and what we're doing now is putting out when we get a new commercial client, we're connecting with them not only on LinkedIn, but also posting an image and a picture with them and that type of thing about our new commercial clients, which will then hopefully lead to another video in the future. So that's just added more, I guess, fuel to our content fire. Um, but as far as making more types of video series, I don't have anything planned right now.
Gotcha. And I wanted to share a visual with everybody, for what you just kind of shared about here. This would be an exact example. 4 days ago, you said welcome, and this is something y'all put
Yeah.
together. quickly and easily once you know, signed an agreement or whatever, delivered containers. And what did that conversation look like? Hey, we'd love to announce this partnership. What did that kind of discussion? We're going to post something on social media. What did that sound like?
Mike and our sales coordinator, our sales admin, has been putting all that together. As soon as we sign the deal, deliver the container with our new commercial clients, we're just putting it out there, making sure that they're tagged in on anything that we're doing, and we're just showing our appreciation for them joining, units.
Yeah, which is also a very important reminder, everybody, if you're doing something like this, whether you're pairing or partnering or organically posting on your own or just reposting, make sure you put the at symbol before you tag them because that pings their social media account, whether it is on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, anywhere else. But yeah, y'all have been doing a great job. Here's another example from 5 days ago. Looks like, Brian, that's one of the ones that you just kind of announced. But these necessarily haven't done a testimonial video yet, is what you're saying.
No, those two companies we have not yet. They've got a first container essentially, and we're still working on building those relationships.
Gotcha. Well, again, I'd like to thank you for your time here, but where can some of our other owner operators from units go and see all of this? I know obviously we just put up LinkedIn, so you're sharing them on LinkedIn, but are you sharing them on other social media platforms? Where are you kind of posting the videos?
This is all everything's getting posted on our Facebook page and our LinkedIn page. Mike and our aforementioned social media sales admin are opening up a TikTok also. I don't know if these types of videos go on TikTok. I'll be learning that soon. But the first two is where we're posting this right now.
Okay. Well, again, Brian, thank you so much for hopping on this call and kind of answering these questions for us today. It's a great initiative. Y'all are doing just a phenomenal job. We're here to help you out with anything else that you might need, but just keep up the phenomenal work. And we will talk to everybody again soon. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks,
All right.
Lydia.